I just need to shut door. I can't do this sort of thing with door open. Hang on. You know what it's like, you need privacy. See, making a YouTube video is it's much like masturbation. You don't need an audience. Ultimately you do. But while you're doing it, it's best that you're on your own. Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm going to make no apologies for this. It's a fucking golf game. It's a golf game. Yes. Very rarely talked about on the tubes, golf games. Let me just angle the dangle. Oh, I guess you can't really see full screen, can you? I don't know. Is that better? It's whatever. How's everybody doing? I hope you've had a good week. I don't know when this will be uploaded. It's Sunday, Sunday afternoon. And another weekend of lockdown. I don't know how we can cope. I don't know how we're coping with it all. I just stay pissed. I found that may be the answer to it all. I'm not sure about this angle. I always say that. I always whinge about that. I always moan about that. So yeah, I've been playing the golf club. 2019 and this year. I'm not make no fucking apologies. I know you're saying, oh, golf fucking boring, blah blah blah. And it helps me relax a game of golf. I like it. I can't say I'm good at it. I only broke 100 once in my golf career, and that was years ago. I've still got the card on the fridge downstairs. I shot a 99, so barely scraped 100 or under 100 with my very life. And yeah, it's something that you know, it's a bit of exercise and it gets you out and about in the fresh air. I like the walk. It's all right, and I make no apologies for golf. A lot of people say it's boring, you're middle-aged, you're middle management, you're this, you're that. I don't know, I like golf. Seemingly dull, but incredibly difficult. And I can't say that about this, actually, because... should we just get me started here? I'm not quite done my avatar for this game yet, so I don't quite look like me. The character's got a bald head and some stubble, but that's about where the similarity ends. I've maxed out... Look at that beautiful clubhouse. You see, golf courses are in nice places. You know, look, here I am. Look, that's the maximum you can set that character for fat. He's 245 kilograms, and I think I'm heavier than that. But I maxed out the fatness for my dude, and I maxed out the baldness for his head. And yeah, we've got a little bit of, but I'm not the jaw, and I need the wife to come up later and help me. Sort out that guy, because no, he doesn't look like me. He's like the chiseled version of me. He doesn't look old enough. I think I definitely need to grey the beard out a bit more, don't I? Yeah, I thought that was grey enough. See, in my head, I'm a young bloke, but in reality, I'm an old duffer. So yeah, but I make no apologies for it. It's a really good game. I really enjoyed a round of golf this morning with it, and yeah, it's here. Let me show you this. So what I've got here, this is waffle ups. So we're going to waffle along. We do a fair bit of waffleage, as I always do. We've got a couple of PC Engine shooters. Yes, PC Engine shooter pickups. We have an Amiibo. Who knew? An Amiibo. The only Amiibo I own. And yeah, it's totally useless other than being an ornament. But we've got a couple of PS4 games as well. This is the third one, so I bought that this week. I just fancied a golf game. I think what it was, a good mate of mine, Steve. Those of you that know me for the longest time will know that Steve was the guy that I originally bought my Japanese Mega Drive from back in the day. Shall I tell that story? Shall I tell it? Shall I bore you with that story again? So, what happened was, at the time, I think it was 89, it was late 89, so the Mega Drive was out in Japan but not in the UK. Now I'd literally just got back into gaming by about 9 or 10 months. I'd got into my local game store, Microfun. Anybody remember Microfun in Rotherham? It doesn't matter if you don't, I'll not judge you for it. But usual, like I say, independent game store selling tapes back then, tapes and CDs if you'd got old in folding. And I happened to walk in there. I had a bit of a layoff after the Commodore 64. So after the Commodore 64, my first experience of console gaming was the Master System. So I went into Microphone, and I don't know if you can remember this in your particular store and whether this was a common thing, but they'd got like a display cabinet that was with the Master System in it, running a game with the TV built into it and everything. And it was like almost like an arcade cabinet, probably twice the width of an arcade cabinet. So it was like a display cabinet, but in the shape of an arcade cabinet. And they'd got a Master System in it running R-Type. And obviously coming from Commodore 64, and probably my two favourite shooters on the Commodore 64 were Armalite and IO. And looking at R-Type, IO was very much an R-Type clone, so looking at that I was like I was in like Bithead 1000. I'm in straight away. I saw it and I thought, fucking hell, that looks really good. And looked up and around and saw that it was a Master System and everything. Went to the counter, what's that? Oh yeah, it's a Master System. But little did I know, because I'd been out of the scene, because I got into my cars and stuff. As soon as I got a car on my 17th birthday, that was it, and it just sucked all the money out of my wallet for a good year or whatever. So in '89 I'll be 19, so I was 18 just turning 19. So in this store, what's that? Oh, it's the Master System. You could buy, you know, a Master System pack, and I think I bought, I'm pretty sure it got hang-on built into it, and it was a dual pad pack. It wasn't the shooter, because I never had the light gun for the Master System. And I bought the Master System, I bought R-Type, and I bought Golden Axe, which is still in there actually. I've still got that. Took it home and I was really enjoying it, and then a mate of mine, Steve, came round who was like looking at that. And then a few weeks later, and I started looking for magazines like we did, because that's where your information came from back in the day, was magazines, as we know. There was no other media. He saw, and I obviously saw that the Mega Drive was coming out. I thought, oh, well, I may have bought this a bit prematurely. There's a new system coming out, because I was getting back into it, and fully intended to upgrade to a Mega Drive at some stage. I was working at this point, so I got the income, and you know, I could afford it and everything. And then this one day, my mate comes around and he says, do you want to buy a Mega Drive, a Japanese Mega Drive? So I was like, yeah, why? He said, well, I've just gone to Meadowhall, and Meadowhall's been there that long, so Meadowhall's a big shopping mall in Sheffield, and they've got a little independent game shop. Struggle to remember the names. Leave a comment below if you remember the name of the independent game store in Meadowhall that became Electronic Boutique, and then I think Game Station, and then after that nothing. It closed down after that. Please let me know. But they had Japanese Mega Drives, and they were also selling import games. They were selling Super Famicom games, and they were selling Japanese Mega Drive games. So he bought a Japanese Mega Drive simply because it does this sort of thing. Simply because he was in there and he saw it, he bought it, stuck it in the boot of his car, and went home. And he was sat with his good lady Shreese, and they were having a conversation, and they were saving for a house at that time. They were still both living with their parents. They're the oldest friends of ours, really good friends of ours. Still see them today, and I love them to bits. And they said, Steve said to me, he said, well, I was kind of sat there, I just, you know, said to her, oh, I'm thinking about getting one of these Mega Drive things. And she said, oh, no, you can't get that. We're, you know, saving for an house. And he got one in the car outside the house. Motherfucker. So he was like, shit, what am I going to do? And I think he'd paid 100 odd quid for it. So he came round to our house and said, do you want it for 100 quid? It was brand new in the box. He'd literally bought it. So I said, yeah, I'll have it. And that's how I got my first Japanese Mega Drive. See? There you go. See? Now I can't remember what sparks that thread off. Oh yeah, I play golf with Steve. That's what it was. Come on, I mean, it's not like I'm Mark, Burnt Out Culture. How are you doing, Mark? I must say I really enjoyed that video from the garage where you were absolutely fucking leathered. It has to be said. I get a bit merry and a little bit, you know, get a bit happy, and because you want to see the best of me. And you know, Sunday afternoons when I've just had a pork joint, absolutely fantastic, crackling on it. I'm down a bottle of red wine, and you know, we've had a weekend off, and yeah, I'm happy. So this is the best of me. This is the best I'm going to be. So I kind of saved that for the tubes. You're fucking welcome. You know, our lass down here starved of Good Mood Darren. It's all, you're like vampires. Anyway, So yeah, saw Mark in his garage absolutely cut. Now, I don't think I've ever done a video that pissed. It's dangerous because you might say things. You might say things that would, you know, upset the snowflakes, and we don't want to do that, do we? So, yeah, it's about as far through as I get this. But yeah, so I play golf with my mate Steve. And this year we were going to start playing again. We tended to go out on a Saturday morning early. They did like a breakfast round at our local, it's a pay and play course. I'm not a member of a course or any of that big, it's fucking, you got to be holding folding for that shit. And I don't profess to play it, I just like to be out, you know, and swinging a club. It's alright, give it a try. If you don't like it, try it. You know, if you like it, try it. No, if you like it, try it. If you don't like it, try it, you might like it. Anyway, yeah. So we used to like that. You talk about the week, and you know, there's like a social aspect to it as well, you know. But we used to book this round where we tee off well before everybody else, because I don't want anyone around me watching me slice the fucking ball into the weeds. And so we'd tee off at like 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and we'd have a buggy as well, so it's lazy golf. I ain't fucking walking. Do you know how far it is around them places? And around here, it's right hilly, so you know, you're up and down, I'd be, you know, I'd be exercising, and that won't do. So yeah, we'd have a buggy, and we'd, you know, we'd go around, we'd do the 18, and it'd be fun, you know. We'd chat about the day, and we'd compliment each other on shots, and yeah, it was alright, enjoyed it. And then at the end of the round, they used to do a breakfast, so you'd have a full English breakfast. So a round of golf, you know, in a buggy, so you're not knackered. And a full English breakfast to finish with extra toast if you want it. I mean, come on, life don't get much better than that, does it, you know? And we were going to start that back up again this year because he's got some free time now on the weekend. His children have all flown the coop. Apart from one, she's still hanging on in there. But yeah, so his time is kind of his own now on a Saturday. So we were going to do it this year, but the coronavirus, you know, it's had a different plan for us, hasn't it? It's really boring, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one of these new pickups on instead. Everyone says, well, but golf is boring, but it's not. It's not if you play it. And I can watch it. You know, I do like to watch I like to watch the Masters. I don't subscribe to Sky anymore, so I don't really get to watch the PGA Tour or any of that. But you know, I like Peter Ellis and Ken on the course, and you know, all that. So I like the BBC coverage, which Sky have gradually robbed from us anyway, so we don't get to see it anymore. But yeah, we'll change that in a minute. But anyway, that's the Golf Club 19. And as I said, play around with it this morning. So initially, you go through a kind of training phase. If I can talk about this for a second, do you mind if I talk about this golf game? Just for a second. Hang on, there's some shooters coming. Fucking hell, what are you like, you lot? Anyway, yeah, so you go through a bit of a tutorial. You know what I don't like about these things is, you don't get a manual, but in this you do. There's a manual, but it's literally 1 page. It's not colour, and it's just a load of text. Do they not realise that we used to like, look, it's literally 2 pages of text. That's all it is. Why even do it? Don't waste your fucking money. Why even do it, you know? But what I don't like is that it's like empty, so there's no bump. You know, well, I'll give it a bump for you. You want to think you've got your money's worth, don't you? This went dear, actually. It's on PlayStation Plus, you can download it for 45 quid. Now, that's taking the piss. I paid 28 delivered. It was brand new and sealed. And they're generally going for between 25 and 30 quid for it, so you know, and you've got the physical game. Then you can, where's that manual gone? It's gone over this way. I don't know, launched it. Anyway, cut jump. I don't know what I've done here, but anyway. So those of you that don't like golf, you might like this. I'm not sure myself, I've just pressed some buttons and got it on, because this is a Japanese release of Battle Princess Madeline. So it looks to me like a bit of a Ghouls and Ghosts thing. Yeah, you see where we go. What does she do? I tell you what, it needs to go through the OSSC, this fucker, because it's not, it's pixelated, but it's a bit blurry. Yeah, look at that, it's fucking Ghouls and Ghosts if it was anything. Which isn't a bad thing, actually. to be fair. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a Ghouls and Ghosts clone. I don't know what the little ghost thing is. Don't know what happens here. Whoa, I've powered up. Oh, I'm fucking... Princess, Battle Princess, Madeline now. I was just Madeline before. Oh, you've got a break come through as well. I like this, it's alright. I'm gonna like this. You do a double jump. Yeah. Whoa, what's that? Bit of Tron music. Oh, I'm gonna kill this thing. Oof. Dementor. Oh, I'm just Madeline again. No! No, and I've died. And I'm back again. It's alright, isn't it? Whoa, I got gobbled up by a big worm. Oh dear. Anyway. Yeah, so, can we, yeah. So we, yeah. Battle Princess Madeline. Now, I can blame Bithead 1000 for that, because that was a pure inspired by YouTube purchase, definitely. But yeah, I like that, it's alright, isn't it? Like I say, if I ran that through the OSSC, I think I could get that looking a lot nicer than that, but, you know, who's got the time and the energy? So, I think that was, as I say, Japanese only release, I believe. And it took fucking ages to come through that as well. I can't even remember how much it was. It went a fortune, I think 25 quid or something, I want to say off the top of my head, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Battle Princess Madeline. So Bithead showed that on his channel, said that it was a decent game. And I'm in, because whatever Jess says. You know, and this next one is inspired by him as well. I've got a third game actually on the way, inspired by Champion 2D Rob. So yeah, you're still doing it to me. You're still making me buy games that I don't even know what they are. And yeah, she was trying to get a bit further. I can do a double jump. I can do a double tap. Can't actually kill that. Ooh. Come on, is he like a baddie? Is he like an end level geezer? Well, look, we can climb ladders. Can we get up there? It is so Ghouls and Ghosts, this. It is such a ripper for Ghouls and Ghosts. It's unreal. Oh, I don't know. What's the little thing in your meal, or is that just where you get in? That's just your entrance. I mean, look at it. It is so good, super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's unbelievable. I'm just wondering if there's a pause feature. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you become Dubry. I think you have to press a button that makes you do it. Anyway, as you can see, I know everything there is to know about these purchases. I've studied and I've bought wisely, and you know, after many hours of consideration, purchased them. But yeah, all joking aside, it looks okay, that, doesn't it? So that was Battle Princess Madeline. Now the next one, in fact, shall we whack it on? Let's whack it on. Again, I was watching Jess, and he was picking. PS4 is awesome for 2D and for you know, sort of stuff like this. One fucking eject, you bellend. That looks like an old school game, but isn't. And I say they're not a lot of money, so you know, when you see them, pick them up because they might be a lot of fun. And as I say, for a clone of, if you're going to go for Ghouls and Ghosts or Super Ghouls and Ghosts as a clone, that's not a bad start, is it, for a decent game? So yeah, Battle Arena, Battle Princess Madeline. So this next one, again, saw Jesse playing this, and he said, and I'm not misquoting him here at all, he said this is, I think he said this is one of the best games he's ever played. And I was like, what? It must be fucking awesome. And it's Dead Cells. So I believe the concept of this game is that you, it's like a puzzler, platformer, hack and slash type scenario. But you, as you move around the sort of gaming area, you get skills, you kind of adopt skills. But when you die, you lose everything. So you've got to go back and you've got to find your dead body and get your skill set back. If that's how it works. I think that's how it works. It's pretty much what Jess said. You know, what Jess says goes, doesn't it? So yeah, so 2 games there. Totally inspired by YouTube. And, you know, the rest is history. The rest is blistery, as we say. Oh, everything needs a patch. That fucking golf game needed a... I mean, you might say, oh, it's nothing, it'll be fucking hours of patching. It needed like a 5.4 gigabyte patch, which took like 15 minutes to install. But that's not, don't release a broken game. You know, most of these things though, it does say it's updating the online capability. So if you don't, you can play it right now, but you'll not have the updated online capability. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, while that's doing its thing, let's chat about PC Engine. So the PC Engine Mini is out. It's out there. You can buy it. I've decided not to step up for it because, and this is one thing I didn't show in my setup, my room tour, is this: I've still got the PC Engine. So we've still got the core graphics too. This, if you're wondering what that is, so that's like a cheaper alternative to get an RGB SCART output. This was like 40 quid. It's a little board. And it goes from component to RGB. There's a little switch on top, and you basically plug your RGB SCART cable into there and into your TV, and you know. And I'll obviously run this through the OSS-C, which is still there, for my PC Engine stuff. So I thought, well, no, I've still got that. I do like, as I say, the Hue cards, and collecting them is quite sustainable. They're not expensive. So I thought, no, I don't need to go to the PC Engine Mini and have a console that does everything. Obviously I've got the EverDrives for the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, but the PC Engine is something that I still want to pick up U-cards for and, you know, and collect for. So, and while I've still got the system, I might as well, aren't I? You know what I mean? So yeah, I could get the ROMs for free. But where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in free? Tell me where the fun in free is. Sean Horatio Van Basten, I'm sorry mate, but Tatsujin went ages ago. I know he was saying when you do your PC Engine collection, you know, if you've still got Tatsujin or you want to get rid of it, I'm in. It went ages ago, mate. And the reason behind it, it's not simply because it was, you know, big bucks game. Oh, it looks a little bit mysterious, doesn't it? Dead Cells. I'm not sure I can play that at all yet. Anyway, the reason was I just felt it was unplayable. It was so ballserific hard, it's unbelievable. If you want to buy Tatsujin for the PC Engine, have at it. Go for it. Do your worst, because fuck me, you'll play it for 2 minutes and wish you'd not paid 200 quid for it. Honestly. The Mega Drive version is, although it's not full screen, it's a lot more forgiving and a lot more playable, and you'll have more fun playing it. But yeah, I just couldn't get anywhere on it, so I just thought, you know, it's just frustrating me. I don't want an 120 quid Hue card sat there frustrating me. So, sold, it went. So I'm sorry about that, Sean, but it's gone, mate. But these are two that one I didn't have in the past and one I did have in the past. And one of these is loose and one's boxed. Now, I'm not gone for this boxed because I'm going to start collecting boxed again. I'm not. They're simply just loose U cards. They're still down here in the little card holders that I've got. Battery's going to fuck me tender. Could jump. You see, this is what the problem is with being spontaneous. You might want to be spontaneous. You might think, I'll make a video. I've not made a video for a week or so. I'll make a video, and then none of your batteries are charged. So this is about an hour later. So yeah, I don't know how long this battery will last. It's the genuine Canon battery. Oh dear. You know, first world problems. You guys just want to tune in and watch a video, don't you? And then you get some baldy fucking unprepared, ill-advised idiot who's drank too much making a video. I don't know where the fuck I was. Did I show you at PC Engine? I think I did, didn't I? Oh, by the way, that, as you can see in there, that is the Pseudo Saturn. So that is an action replay cartridge in the Japanese blue see-through ROM cart case. And if you saw the last video, that'll make some sense to you. If you didn't see the last video, that makes no sense at all. And why don't you go and watch that last video, and it'll make some sense. Now, basically, I wanted to, in my Derby Stallion Saturn, I wanted to run that type of ram cart because it's the same colour as the case of the Saturn. Just purely aesthetic reasons. Nothing other than my OCD wanted it to match, and it does. And I know Tootie said to me, Stuart, hi Stuart, how you doing, mate? Tootie said, oh, you need to make a video on that, but it would have been a 2-second video. So there's literally 2 screws in the bottom of there. I think on that car it's the game bit. It's the game bit screw on the bottom there. They just come out, and on the Action Replay cartridge it was just 2 Phillips head screws, so they came out. And the boards inside are pretty much identical. Now there is an extra bit of stuff on the Action Replay board, a couple of extra chips and diodes and fucking what have you, but it does fit. It's exactly the same innards. At first I thought it wouldn't fit. The ram cart has a steel shielding on either side of it, but the Action Replay didn't. So basically I just left the steel shielding out, and that board went into that ram cart. It fastened back up and went in, and it's all fine. So it does work. You can do that. As I say, that's the Sega Saturn RAM card in there from the big box games, the 4 meg RAM card with the clear blue shell and sticker. And if you've got one of these, if you've got the So Cool or the Derby Stallion Saturn like that, it matches the colour. So yeah, so that's the. In fact, I'll prove that it is it. So we'll just fire the. This is a gold disc in here of Shenryu. Don't own that. So just to show you it booting up. Still not got a battery in the fucking Saturn. I've ordered some off eBay. It's gonna ask me to do the fucking thing. So there you go, there's a pseudo Saturn software booting up. So just to show you that it is the Action Replay in there. And there you go, we're into the game. Is it gonna ask me to do the thing? No, it didn't, did it? It didn't ask me to do it, so I didn't need to plug that in at all. It's a bit strange. Does it have some kind of residual backup power then once it's been plugged in? I don't know. Anyway, just to say that yeah, it does fit in there. So if you want to put an Action Replay innards into the into your Japanese RAM cart, if you're like me, if you're wired that way, if you know at all wired like me for OCD, then yeah, it does fit. So where were we? We're talking about PC Engine, weren't we? So I'd already got this plugged up, so I just decided to go back to that because we were going nowhere with the PS4 games. There was no attract sequence at all. But yeah, both those games inspired by Bithead, who'd give them a solid shout out, so I decided to go ahead and buy them. They weren't expensive, you know. So a couple of PC Engine pickups. And I had said that I'd still got the PC Engine collection, and it is down here, and I will do that video. At some point there'll be a PC Engine collection video, all loose HuCard, except for this one. So I couldn't actually get this loose. So when I go to eBay, and it is where I go to for these things, I mean at the minute we can't go to an event, can we, and look, although I did pick up quite a bit from Scottish Alan in Blackpool, I believe. God, it seems like a lifetime ago now, doesn't it? A long time ago. Long time ago in Bethlehem. So yeah, I'm not going for a full set of shooters. I'm not going for a set of anything. It's probably all going to get sold next week anyway. As Tootie says, you know, I do buy and sell. I do not apologise for that. It is part of the journey. It's what I do. I want to experience everything, but I can't afford to own it all at the same time. So things get sold, things get purchased, things get sold, things get repurchased, and things get sold again. That's how it is. I'm learning just to live with that. That's how we roll here. We tuck our legs in and we tilt forward. That's how we roll. So anyway, yeah, PC Engine game, Final Blaster. So I don't know if I actually had that the last time I was collecting the shooters, but I couldn't find it, as I say, loose. Now it seems, what should I do? You know, I've got the HuCard. And I've got the little plastic thing. I'll probably just store the box and the little plastic thing, but that HuCard will now live in here. So we've got a bit of a slot for her. So what we've got in this particular section, well, I don't want to show you that, do I? Because now this is not a shooter section. This is not a shooter section. A shooter section. It's not a shooter section. I've got 3 of these, these little things full of games, like here. And if there's not a shooter in here, it's going to get pulled out. But they're all shooters. So will it fit? I can fit 7 in here, and I think it will. It'll go in there. So Final Blaster will go in there. It'll be here, ready to be played. And the, as I say, the case and the little slip cover, that can go into storage, because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. It's not going to be done. But like I say, I couldn't find it any other way on eBay. There were no loose copies for sale. And yeah, it wasn't all that expensive. I think it was about 45, I want to say. 40, 45, something like that. Anyway, that was that. Now this next one, this was definitely available boxed. It was definitely available loose, and the last time I had this was loose, and I bought it from, went out with Craig actually. Where did we go, Craig? Craig will chime in the comments below. He always has something to say anyways, because it's a shoot 'em up, and Craig has got an opinion and it will be listened to. So yeah, where we were, Craig, went up to Durham, didn't we, to your mate's store, and I bought this boxed for 75, I believe, which was a really good price at that time. And prices they're still going up. I know everyone says, you know, that prices are gonna, you know, there'll be a bubble that's gonna burst, prices are gonna come down, but I don't think so. They're not showing any signs yet. I mean, I've been trying to get Final Soldier, not Final Soldier, Soldier Blade. I've got Final Soldier and a Superstar Soldier. I've been trying to get Soldier Blade, and it's now 100 quid for a loose card. It's 100 quid for the loose shoe card. I don't want to pay more than 80 for it. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it is really good. It's part of the trilogy, and I need to complete it. But 100 quid for a loose shoe card? I don't know. I paid 150 for my last copy, and it was boxed and mint. So I don't know. Anyway, that's another one that seems to keep going up and up. I'm busily driving up the price of Game Boy Advances as well. So yeah, difficult to grab a Game Boy Advance for me to convert to the IPS screens for anything less than 30 quid. It's ridiculous. They were 18 quid, 20 quid max when I first started buying them, and now they're like 30 quid. You know, if someone takes an offer at 25, you've done well. Anyway, so PC Engine, shooter, and it's the double ring, or the W ring, or double rings. And that's a really good shooter for the PC Engine if you don't know that one. I think it was Mark Horsburgh that first put me onto that one back in the day. How are you doing, Mark? Yeah, I'd never heard of that one, and he put me onto it, and it's yeah, it's a really good shooter, the double rings. Again, as I say, climbing in price, that one. I want to say, what did I pay for that? 48 or something. Might have been 50, I don't know, 40, between 40 and 50 quid away for the loose U card. And we'll swap that in as well, shall we? I think I've got a space here in front of these. I'm not sure that's a shooter actually. Somebody told me, no, that's definitely that needs to be pulled out, that one, because it's not a shooter. And it'll go in there. So again, part of a mini collection, subset, as we keep saying these days on the tubes. It's a subset. Got to get the angle down right now and there. So I'll do that. I'll go through. Let's say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. About 27 games there now. About 27 games loose for the PC Engine, and I'll keep picking them up, as I say, here and there. I don't want to pay crazy money for them. You know, I want that to be a sustainable collection. I don't want it to feel like it owes me any money, because if it does, that's when I tend to sell things. What else has been happening? So I've got an Amiibo. Yeah, I told you, I've got an Amiibo, and this was inspired by Rasmus. How you doing, Raz? Pumping content out like you wouldn't believe on his lockdown, oh Raz, even though Sweden aren't locked down. Have you seen your curve as well in Sweden? Have you seen your fucking infection curve? It's as flat as a witch's tit. So I don't know why we're all staying in, because yeah, there's no problem in Sweden. Anyway, so Raz picked this up, and I thought, I've got to have it. I've been looking for a figure of him for ages, and I didn't want anything too big and bulky. And this sits on the windowsill, really nice up there, and it's Solid Snake. Snake. Snake! Come on, focus in on Solid Snake. There he is. The old Snake Meister. And this amiibo's quite detailed actually, it's quite well detailed. He's got his little attachments and stuff. He's got his belt with his bat repellent spray in it. No, shark repellent spray, should I say. It must be windy because his bandana's blowing a bit in the breeze. But yeah, there's Snake. Solid Snake, and I had to have him, didn't I? Of course I did. Just for nostalgia's sake, if nothing else. And that's it, really. That's all I've picked up. As I say, I've been busy doing the Game Boy modifications that I'm doing and selling. You know, that's keeping me busy, and also my Arcade 1-Up cabinets. And I'm going to do a bit of a rant here about Arcade 1-Up. So those of you that have followed along that little kind of thing that's going on in the background, my Street Fighter cabinet, my Street Fighter 2 cabinet, developed a bit of a monitor fault. It developed a green line down the screen after 2 weeks. Now initially, Arcade 1-Up UK, because when you go to Arcade 1-Up's website, they have a UK portal, so anyone from Europe, that's who you talk to. If you go to the American portal, they'll just say, I'm sorry, we can't deal with you, you need to talk to our European office. And they just back you back. They're not prepared to help you. So America, unless you're buying from their website, I bought another monitor from them this week, and let's see how long that takes to fucking get you. It's probably going to be a week or two, if that, and it'll be here. So basically after that fault came up there, I contacted them. I could have gone, let me just put this straight, I bought that from Amazon, and Amazon said that they would swap it out instantly. They said, no problem, excuse me, we'll swap it, you know, blah 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 blah. And because it's a cabinet and I'd have to take it apart and box it right back up and all the rest of it, I said no, you don't need to do that. You know, I'll get a replacement screen. So I went to Arcade 1-Up. Initially, very good support. They came back to me within a couple of days. Now I don't know whether this is because of Corona. I don't know if their office is shut or whatever. But this should have been dealt with before Corona broke out. So if you remember the story, I've told it on previous videos. I contacted those guys. I told them I'd got a problem with the monitor. They said, can you just give us proof of purchase? So I sent them my receipt from Amazon. They come back straight away and said, yeah, absolutely no problem. That's a manufacturing fault. We're sorry, we'll get you a new monitor. It's on its way. So weeks and weeks has gone by, and I think it must have been about 4 or 5 weeks, and I sent them an email saying, hi guys, just checking that this is happening because I've not received anything yet. And then they come back to me and said, yeah, don't worry about it. It's in hand. We're going to get you a monitor as soon as possible. So another couple of weeks has gone by, and I sent an email to them again saying, guys, what's going on? Because, you know, I've had no contact, there's no monitor, what's going on? They ignored that email, so I've had no reply at all from that email. So I sent another one saying, this really isn't good enough, you know, I can order parts from the US and have them shipped here inside 2 weeks, so what's the hold up? What's taking time? Still no reply. So they're now ignoring me. And my last email was basically, guys, it's really poor service, you know, what's going on? Please get in touch before I make a YouTube video about this. And there's been nothing, no reply again. So I can only assume, and this is the only thing really that's not making me rage out, is that the Arcade 1-Up office in the UK is no one staffing it. I mean, you know, it's an online thing, so it's pretty bullshit. I mean, they can work from home, so any emails they'll be getting, I think they're just fucking ignoring me. That's what I think. I think, you know, if you do buy one of these cabinets, don't expect any support UK wise. Initially they were very good, but there's been nothing happening. As I say, I raised this complaint and I put this claim in well before COVID, and things aren't happening. As I say, I've gone on because I've decided to convert the Street Fighter 2 cabinet, and if you're watching me on Instagram, you'll be able to see what's going on in the background, turning it into a Time Pilot cabinet. And I intend to do a video about it once it's done, and I'm taking lots of pictures. Again, people have been asking me to do a video on it. The problem is it's very sporadic. I'm getting kind of bits in a bit at a time, but I'll talk through it. I'm taking pictures of everything that's coming in and how I intend to set it up and everything, and I'll put links to all the people that have helped me so far, and a bit of a shout out to Retro Dave. Hi Dave. Dave's been taking measurements from his actual cabinet of the control panel and stuff like that for me, so I've been able to scale it down. And I've got a really decent guy, a guy called Chris Moran on eBay, the guy that sorted me out with the riser decals, and so I bought a couple of the riser kits that he does on eBay. I'll be giving him a shout out in that as well, because he's been doing some artwork for me and it's absolutely stellar. The artwork looks really good. and I intend to have what I believe they should have done instead of the Frogger cabinet. So it's not going to be a replica of, you know, it's not going to be a smaller replica of the cabinet. It's going to be my take on what I think Arcade 1-Up should have done for the Time Pilot game. So yeah, most of the parts are in now. I don't know when that shut off. I'm halfway through waffling. So yeah, I've got all the bits. I've got all the bits ready to do that conversion with. As I say in there, I've got an LCD coming from Arcade 1-Up. I've ordered another Gallagher LCD. Obviously because it's a vertical screen, so I could have just put another screen in there. I could have just put, you know, bought a monitor and put it in there, but I'd already got the bits to convert the LCD that Arcade 1-Up supply, so that's what I decided to do, get an LCD from Arcade 1-Up, and then got it already in a vertical alignment, and plug that into the Pi and have Time Pilot running on that. There are some other games in there, but if that comes out as nice as I think it's going to, and I think it will, there very may well be another one after that, because I've always said my 4-shooter lineup here really needs to be the 4 games that really stand out from my childhood. And although Time Pilot's running off the Pi and it will have other games in it, I mean, it's got all the vertical games in it that Beeps put me in there, and we'll have a look at that. But it is specifically being built for Time Pilot, so I may specifically build another cabinet and not go with a Pi, but put something else in there. And I'm thinking about maybe that could also run modern vertical shooters as well. We'll see, but that's the arcade stuff anyway. On the other side of it, so thanks for sticking with that. Fucking like took some doing that, didn't it? Again, at this time of worry and trouble and strife, I hope everybody's okay. We're suffering another weekend of lockdown. There's no real suffrage for me because I just love being at home, I have to say. Playing golf this morning, and then I've done a Game Boy conversion this afternoon, and now I'm making a video, and I've had a nice lunch. I mean, fucking hell, that's an epic standard Sunday. If someone said to me that's your Sundays from now on, you know, then yeah, that would be alright by me. But the wife's getting a little twitchy now. You know, she's feeling a little bit caged in, a little bit of cabin fever. But I mean, we're both still working, so you know, we're going out every day. We're both. I'm considered not a key worker, but we're part of essential manufacturing, so I have to go in, and my wife's a key worker. She's working for the NHS, so yeah, we're both working. So it's just the weekends that are a little bit different, that's all. But you know me, I've got all this shit to do. I've got tons to do, loads of shit to do. Last thing I'm going to do is give out a bit of a shout out. So and I'll put a link in the description down below if you've got this far. Well done. But yeah, there's a new guy on the tubes, Shmuck Pilot 79. So this is a guy. I think it's Dave. Is it Dave? I think it's Dave. He's been stalking me on Instagram for quite a few years, and he's been around the tubes in the comments for quite a few years. But he's decided to go ahead and make a channel, and he's kind of shouted me out a little bit as being inspiration for him, and I appreciate that. You know. So yeah, I'll give him a shout out, and if you don't know who he is, go and see him. Obviously he loves all shoot 'em ups, as I do, and yeah, he's building himself quite a killer game room, it has to be said, and he's doing it on a bit of a budget. He's been a little bit shrewd. He was on Danester's stream the other night. I don't know if you saw that, with Highlander. Thanks for the kind words there, lads. You know, it's good to see the new with the old, and everyone rubbing along together nicely. It's good, it's cool. So yeah, Shmuck Pilot 79, go and see him. Tell him I sent you, and I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. I think that's it. I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. There's going to be something happening around the bank holiday weekend. Hopefully, I've got something lined up that'll be quite special. But I don't want to say, because if it doesn't happen, you'll be, what happened about that then? What happened? So I've got, as I say, got the PC Engine collection to do. Yeah, it's all to do, isn't it? And Time Pilot thing keeps rolling in the background, and I say once that's done, because I want to get it finished first, I'll do a full-on video on that as well, show you that conversion. So yeah, I'm going to go off and drink some more vodka coke, because you know, I'm out of wine now. It's a few hours later, and yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.